Hey guys, how are we doing? Back with another video from Ham on Beats, and we are checking out Jojo anime and manga differences for part 4, Diamond. Excuse moi. Is Unbreakable. Let's check it out.
She's up there! Ham on the beat!
Yeah, so part 2, they cut a load of stuff. Part 3, they added a lot of stuff. So let's see what they do in part 4.
It is now time for part 4 of the Jojo anime and manga differences. The part
Cool.
4 adaptation is probably one of the most interesting when it comes to changes.
Yeah?
A large amount is added and rearranged across the entire season.
Ooh.
Let's take a look.
Ooh, interesting.
The anime occasionally plays clips from Moriocho Radio,
Yeah.
which was added for the anime.
Well, you're not going to be
There's
able
a
to...
new opening
Okay.
scene showing one of Kira's victims.
That was class opening.
The anime
So that's
shows
not in the
Jotaro
manga.
during his taxi ride to Morio. In
Oh,
the manga, there's extra dialogue to introduce Josuke's heritage.
so they're not...
In the anime, Koichi recognizes Joseph's name. The manga had an extra schoolgirl talking to Josuke.
Oh, okay.
Some of Jotaro's thoughts about Josuke are moved towards the end of the scene. In the anime, Josuke and Koichi leave Jotaro because they are running late. In the manga, Jotaro is the one who leaves.
Oh, okay, that's...
The anime takes an old woman from
Why
later in the
change
manga
it?
and adds her to the scene where Tomoko was hit on. She is also given a name when she was nameless in the manga. The first half of Angelo's backstory and the scene of Jotaro looking at the town are moved here. The anime adds a scene introducing Angelo and shows him take control of the robber. There's a new scene of Josuke and
There's a
Koichi
lot
walking
added.
from school to the
A
grocery
lot.
store. The
I like that
anime
they're
adds a
rearranging
woman
things
with
as
the
well.
robber who was killed by Angelo. There is a scene showing some of the future stand users in the crowd.
Oh.
The anime adds a scene of Josuke speaking to Jotaro on the phone and Angelo outside of Josuke's house.
So this
The
wasn't...
second half of Angelo's backstory is moved to the beginning of the second episode, and is combined with the scene of him meeting Tomoko. The anime adds a scene with Oh, That's a Baseball from part 3.
Oh, that's a
In
baseball.
the manga, Josuke's video game console
That's a
is
cool
modeled after a
reference.
Super Famicom. The anime changes it to resemble a Nintendo 64.
Oh, right, so it's a completely
The
different
anime adds
console,
a
wow.
scene of Koichi outside of Josuke's house. The Nijimura brothers' house is also visible in this scene.
Mm.
In the anime, Josuke explains that his mother is away with relatives during the scene when Angelo attacks. The anime adds a scene of Josuke jumping down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
In the anime,
Oh,
you can see
okay.
the glove before Josuke takes it,
There's a lot
and the
of
leftover
random
glove
ads.
afterwards. The Nijimura house is now visible in the background of the Angelo rock scene. Angelo's flashback is shorter than in the manga. There's a new scene of Jotaro speaking on the phone with the Speedwagon
So they cut
Foundation,
something then, that's weird.
asking for them to send him the photo of Enya with the arrow. There's a scene
And
of
that's not in
Koichi
the manga.
researching the
Weird.
disappearances in Morio. The scene of Jotaro meeting Tomoko is shown early. In the anime, Okuyasu lands a few punches on Josuke before being defeated. Josuke is now shown bandaging his hand during the Bad Company fight. Kaicho is not directly shown being hit with Bad Company's missiles. The anime cuts away to the outside of the house. The year where Kaicho's flashback takes place is changed.
Oh,
The symbol on the young Okuyasu's
that's weird.
bat
So
is
they've changed the
removed.
whole time
The
as
shadow
well.
in the window was changed to look more like Akira. A new scene is added of Okuyasu meeting Josuke for school. In the manga, Tamami became short after he was defeated by Koichi.
Right, yeah,
The
I
anime
remember you
makes him
saying
short
that, like,
from the beginning.
They have
The
height
scene of
differences to
Hazamada's
represent
victim
stuff.
stabbing himself is shown. Hazamada is also introduced as short from the beginning. Rohan's manga,
Oh, right, so he was
Dark Boy,
bigger
is
before
added to
defeated.
Hazamada's
That's
locker.
really
Yukako is
weird
introduced early in the
thing to
anime, admiring Koichi from afar.
change, but I suppose...
The manga had an extra scene of Josuke asking people if they saw his copy. The anime shows Red Hot Chili Peppers spying on Josuke after the fight is over.
and
Yukako talks
that doesn't
about
happen in the
Prince.
manga.
The anime adds
So
an image of him
much
performing.
added.
There's a new scene of Josuke and Okuyasu figuring out where Koichi is being held. An ominous scene showing Tonio is added to the beginning of the episode. The scene of Okuyasu
I still
convincing
find it mad that
Josuke
the
to go
opening
to
with
the restaurant is
Kira's
shortened.
victim was not in the manga. That's
Tonio explains
one hell of an
why he came to
opening.
Morio
Adds a
before
lot of
serving
mystery to
Okuyasu.
it.
In the manga, he explains it after he learns Josuke and Okuyasu are stand users. The video game Josuke was playing is shown. The detailed
Oh, okay.
description of Akira's guitar is removed. A new scene showing one of Kira's victims is shown. Kira is also visible
none
in the
of this
streets of
stuff's
Morio
in
during
it.
the power outage.
That's so weird.
The scene of Akira in prison is shown. The manga only mentions it in exposition. Rohan is briefly foreshadowed in the middle of the episode. The scene of Josuke discovering the receipt is shown. Josuke's birthmark is also added to this scene, since it was never visible in the manga.
What? Really?
A new
That's
scene
so
of Hazamada
weird.
in the bookstore is shown. The scene also shows the stand user from the Cheap Trick fight with his back covered. Iggy is added to the image of the Part 3 group.
But he wasn't in the manga. Why? Why was...
and Okuyasu are shown in the style of the Volume 34 cover. Josuke's line about Mickey Mouse is removed.
Of course, because you can't
Jotaro no longer
reference
shows Josuke on the map
Disney
where the
stuff.
rat was shot. In the manga, Jotaro mentions that he can only stop time for 1 second. Multiple lines are cut from the conversation between Rohan
It's a little
and
bit
Koichi.
different.
In the anime, Heaven's Door is shown fully materializing and touching Reimi to reveal her pages. The scene of Rohan being asked for directions is removed.
Right,
Kira's introduction
okay.
is moved to one scene later. The brand name of Josuke's shoes is removed from the anime.
Of course it
The
is.
scene of Shigechi finding his old chewing gum is removed.
What?
There is a new line where Okuyasu says he thinks Shigechi's mom is attractive. A cameo scene of Koichi and Yukako is added. The two conversations with the bank teller are combined into one. Josuke is shown biting his lip during the scene at the bank. This is a reference to the Enigma fight, where biting his lip is revealed to be his tail.
Right, okay.
The anime
That's
shows
weird,
Crazy
right, okay.
Diamond healing Okuyasu's ear. There is
So
now a
they
cat that gets scared by
changed
Shigechi
its
when
characteristic
he passes
then.
by. I thought that it might be Stray Cat's user from later, but it looks different. The anime shows Shigechi stealing the alcohol for later in the fight. The Cinderella arc was moved to be before the Yoshikage Kira chapters, while in the manga it was immediately after.
Wow.
The first scene of this arc in the manga references the Kira chapters, so it was replaced.
I feel like...
Originally,
Oh, I don't know,
Joseph tells
actually.
Yukako to go to
It's
the
weird how they're
Cinderella
rearranging
salon.
things as
While
well.
in the anime, she is shown spying on Koichi and stumbles upon the salon herself. A cameo scene of Kira is added to the beginning of the episode. The scene of
So that's not in
Yukako
it.
cutting in line and tying a man's
The
arm to a
tension
pole
and
is
mystery
removed.
around him is built up
Josuke is
so
shown using
well.
Crazy Diamond to save himself from falling out the window.
In the anime, I find.
Aya reading Yukako's hand lines is skipped. Several scenes in the episode are stylized to look like Aya's Cinderella book. The anime adds an extra scene of Kira in his house. Dialogue is added to acknowledge the events of the Cinderella arc, since it was moved. Kira
Right.
is not shown wearing gloves inside of the gym.
So if you change it
A new
around, then the
conversation
dialogue
between
needs to
Josuke
make sure
and
that it
Okuyasu
fits
was
the
added
time.
to the
Right.
background of Kira trying to grab the bag. Kira is no longer shown looking over his shoulder before revealing his stand. In the anime, Killer Queen is briefly shown with a skull for a face. The anime shows
Right.
Kira's neck wound throughout the fight. In the manga, it disappeared. Aya is added to the group of characters gathered to discuss Kira. Kira's unique tie and shirt from when he walks past Josuke is replaced with the sheer heart attack outfit. He now has bandages for his neck wound. Kira is now shown destroying the severed hand before following the woman. A scene of Kira at the woman's apartment was added, along with a scene of Koichi
Wow,
before
so
meeting
much
up
stuff with
Josuke.
Kira was added. I find that
Shot
very,
from
very
Taylor's point
mad.
of view is added, where he can only see sheer heart attack's trail. Some of Act 3's dialogue
Well, it makes sense. He
is
wouldn't be able to see the
removed.
stand, would he?
The brand name of Kira's jacket is not shown in the anime.
Of course.
Koichi's inner monologue about Kira's normal appearance is skipped. Josuke is shown trying to heal Aya with his stand in the anime. During the
Didn't
shot
try to
of
do
the
that in
crowd, Mikitaka, Yuya, and Terinosuke are visible. Kira, disguised as Kozaku, can also be seen.
Huh.
Some of the chapters at the Kawajiri house are now placed before the Adam Heart Father episode. Okuyasu's
More rearranging.
dialogue about ghosts is removed. Shinobu's dialogue about how Hayato has her trapped in the marriage is skipped. In the manga, the landlord is nice at first before asking for the rent.
Oh, right, because he comes across
The
as an absolute
conversation about
ass when he
Rohan's manga
comes in,
translation
doesn't he?
between Rohan and Joseph is removed. The anime skips Rohan reading the details of Ken's pages. Some of Yoshihiro's monologue is removed from the fight. The scene of Mikitaka being shot with the arrow is now before the scene with Kira. There is a new scene of Jotaro
More
with a
rearranging.
Speedwagon Foundation member. Some of Josuke and Okuyasu's dialogue before meeting Mikitaka is removed. The scene of Mikitaka showing his electric toothbrush is removed,
What?
as is the scene of him mimicking the yen note.
Oh, that's class.
The scene of Josuke practicing with the dice is skipped.
That
Rohan
would
no
make
longer
sense
goes inside
to
to look
show
for
that they
dice.
practiced.
Multiple scenes are removed from the dice game.
Could have even used it as a little bit of a
History
flashback
Silo
during
told
the
by Rohan,
match.
Josuke's story about his grandmother, and Rohan testing the dice by biting them. The scene of Mikitaka sweating and Josuke pretending to sneeze to cover it up is also removed.
That would have been hilarious
The
to
scene of Hayato
see.
spying on his mother and Kira is moved here instead of a few chapters earlier.
Huh.
Some of Josuke and Rohan's dialogue on the bus is removed. There is a new scene of Josuke healing Rohan after the Highway Star fight. Before the Stray Cat arc, a scene is added of Hayato leaving for school. Stray Cat's inner monologue where he discovers he has become a plant is shortened. The
Right.
scene of Shinobu leaving flowers for the cat is skipped. Kira making Stray Cat sniff a cigarette is removed. The events of the Superfly, Enigma,
bizarre.
and Cheap Trick fights are rearranged to show that they occur simultaneously. There's a new scene of Jotaro and Joseph with the SPW agent. Yoshihiro is now shown finding his son and spying on Rohan. Josuke, Okuyasu, and Koichi are now shown discussing Kira.
And they
Koichi's
didn't
kidnapping
do
is
that.
shown, while the manga only mentions it after it happened. Cheap Trick's user can now be seen outside before ringing Rohan's doorbell.
Do you know what? I never
There are new scenes of
noticed
Kira at work and
that
Hayato at
scene.
school.
That's
Some of
interesting, but
Mikitaka's dialogue
it wasn't in
before
it
the
anyway.
Superfly fight is removed. Many of the details of the Superfly Tower are skipped. Some of Kinoto's dialogue at Rohan's house is removed. A portion of the Superfly fight is skipped,
Oh,
along
wow.
with much of the user's dialogue afterwards. In the manga, Josuke brings Koichi's bag to Yuya in the hospital, while in the anime, he takes him to where it is.
Oh,
Rohan dropping his pen to try and
that's
see Kinoto's back
different.
is skipped. Kinoto is not shown crawling up the stairs. The taxi driver's dialogue in the Enigma
Oh yeah, he
fight
just
is
kind of
removed.
goes up there, doesn't he?
More of Echo's Act 3's dialogue is skipped. The chapter My Dad Is Not My Dad is shown simultaneously with Cheap Trick,
That
since
was
they
so
occur at the
boss. He
same
just walks
time.
in, just blows him up.
Much of the Cheap Trick fight is skipped, including Rohan trying to block his hearing, and Cheap Trick drawing people into Rohan's house to see his back. Jotaro is shown investigating the couple Kira killed. There is a new scene of Josuke and Koichi planning to go to the Kawajiri house with Rohan. Kira no longer bites the characters for victory into his nails. Kira is now shown combing his hair back, when in the manga it changes off-screen.
Oh,
Shinobu's
okay.
teapot now
I
has a
like the
different
little
design. The
change.
Gucci branding was removed from Rohan's watch. Kira's
Gucci was
calculations
removed.
for the trajectory of the air bullet is removed.
Oh.
Yoshihiro is shown disintegrating
Oh.
in the manga. The hand's position during Okuyasu's return was changed.
Hmm.
A flashback of Kira as a child is shown. Kira's death is much more graphic in the anime.
Really?
Reimi's farewell scene is extended.
Aw,
The ending is significantly expanded to show what happened to all of the characters.
I like
The new
that
scene
though.
of Tomoko at home is shown, along with a picture of Josuke's grandfather. Koichi and Yukako are shown meeting in front of the Angelo Rock.
Aw.
Okuyasu, his father, and Stray Cat are shown at Tonio's restaurant.
Right, so they
attempt
didn't
to cure
have all
him
this.
using Tonio's food, but it doesn't work.
Aw.
Yuya Fungami and his groupies are also shown at the restaurant. Multiple minor characters are shown on the sidewalk in Morio. Koichi's mother and sister talking about Yukako.
The old woman that's
the old woman
directions.
who was added to the first episode.
Yeah,
The mother and baby from the Highway Star arc.
right.
The biker from the surface fight and the girl from the Cinderella arc, who are now a couple. And Kira's former co-workers discussing his death.
Yeah.
There is a scene of Tamami and Hazamada arguing.
I like
Rohan
this
is
though,
shown
like
doing
showing
his
what
hand
everyone's
stretches
doing.
from the Rohan one-shot chapters. Toyohiro and Mikitaka are shown inside of Superfly. Josuke, Okuyasu, and Koichi are shown crouched in front of the Osen store. This is a homage to one of the Jojo manga commercials.
Oh, okay.
Josuke's final pose is shown here instead of at the docks. And that was every difference in Part 4. A large amount of fun moments were skipped to fit the manga into the 39-episode limit. However, the amount of things added, especially to the ending, do help with the pacing of the part.
Hmm.
The Part 5 anime is not over yet, but I will begin to work on a video for it to be ready
But it
shortly
is now.
after the final episode. But in the meantime, we have one more thing to cover. Next time on the JoJo anime and manga differences, we'll be looking at the Part 4 live-action movie.
Ooh, I've not seen that,
Thank you for
so I
watching.
won't check
This
that
is
out.
the part of the video where I thank my $5 patrons. Thank you, Alex Ramirez.
I find
Thank
it
you, Renee
interesting that a
Klein.
lot of the stuff
Thank you,
that I
Fox.
found
Thank you, Keo. And
most
thank you,
interesting
Boatgirl.
about Part 4 was added. I liked the really mysterious build-up for Kira in the background beforehand and that. Like, I can't believe the opening is not in... That seems to be a recurring thing. Didn't Part 1's opening in the manga, I remember him saying, start with someone, with a guy wearing the mask sacrificing a woman, and then it started. But they cut that out of the anime. So, like, the openings they keep messing about with. But yeah, that was boss. That was really cool. I like these. And we'll check out the differences Part 5. And then some of you pointed out that he's done a Araki Actually Forgot video, so do that. And then he's gone and done all the musical references between each part of JoJo. So I think that's going to be cool, because obviously people are named by artists and stuff, and then certain attacks are named by like songs and things. So I think that's going to be really cool as well. It's so much JoJo stuff to check out. Excuse me. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave comments down below, let me know if you should watch us in future videos. And I'll see you guys. Yes, all you guys.